Hi, I'm Devora with Equator Coffees, and we are going to brew Flash Brew. Now, on a hot day, nothing satisfies like a tall glass of iced coffee. And that often means cold brew. There's a reason why cold brew reigns supreme. It's smooth, sweet, easy drinking coffee. But if you want something a little different, maybe something a little lighter, brighter, crisper, or something you can make and drink right away, we can make a flash brew, aka an iced pour over. Now, flash brew can also mean brewing directly into an ice bath or rapid chilling some other way. But for our purpose and to make it home, we are talking about brewing a pour over directly onto ice and substituting some of your water weight for ice. So we have a proper brewing ratio. I'm going to brew in a Chemex because I want to make a big pot. So to brew an iced pour over, you need a pour over. I'm brewing on a Chemex, so I can make a big pot. You need a filter, of course, hot water, ice, and of course, freshly roasted, freshly ground coffee. Because I'm substituting some of the water weight for ice, I grind a little bit finer than I normally would for the brew method. So wherever you normally brew your Chemex or your pour over, just take it a notch or two finer. Now to prep, I'm starting with about 40% of my water weight as ice in the bottom of my Chemex. Now for this recipe, I'm doing 40 grams of coffee, which means 680 grams of water for a 17:1 ratio. 40% of that is 290 grams. Simply place your filter. For a Chemex, remember the thick side goes towards the spout, and add your coffee. I didn't give this filter a rinse. I don't want to pour hot water onto my ice, melting it unnecessarily. But if you are super sensitive to paper taste, you can give this filter a rinse over your sink or over a carafe, but make sure that if you're brewing into that carafe, you are discarding the water and actually chilling it a little bit. We want the bottom chamber to be cool. A little shake to settle my grounds bed. Don't forget to re-tare the scale. I'm only adding 390 grams of water. Start the timer right when I pour. I'm doing a bloom. I always do for pour over. In this case, 90 grams. In general, for a bloom, I like to use about twice as much hot water as my dose of coffee. This will help ensure even saturation and give your coffee time to release gas, expand a little bit, and hopefully that first dose of water will fully saturate your grounds bed to give you even extraction. At 45 seconds, I add 100 grams of water. I'm brewing intentionally and slowly because I only have about half as much water as I normally would. So don't rush your brew. At 2 minutes, add another 100 grams. This takes our total weight up to 290. Watch the flow rate on your Chemex. If your coffee is gushing through, then you ground a little too coarse. Tighten it up next time. If it's hardly dripping and you really still have a lot of water up top, even in that minute you've let it hang out there, then knock it a little coarser. I'm taking long pauses between each pour because I do want to slow down this brew. I want to give the water enough time to properly extract from my coffee grounds. At 3 minutes, I'm adding my last 100 grams of water. Now I'm using water off the boil, 205 degrees, if you're using a kettle that lets you set the temperature. Now I simply wait for the rest of my coffee to draw down. I'm looking for a 3-minute, 30-second to 4-minute brew time for this much coffee. This is a brew method you can have a lot of fun playing with. You can scale your ratio up or down using a pour over or a Chemex. Just make sure that you are substituting some of your water weight with ice. At 4 minutes, I've pretty much stopped dripping So I'm going to pull my filter, toss it in the compost. I've got cool coffee brewed to a nice 17-to-1 ratio, so it's ready to drink. Because I've melted most of the ice by brewing, I'm going to serve it over ice as well. Cheers.